How's it going, everybody? It's the Better Live Than Dead Carcast, episode number 2. As you can tell, I am not driving. I am a passenger. Joining me, the driver of the vehicle.
What's up, peoples?
Mr. Perez.
It's your boy, Mr. Perez.
Just gonna... Don't mind the camera if I start to adjust it while we're talking, because it's kind of fluid right now. It's being a pain in my ass, and maybe that'll do it. Well, that should do it. Who cares? We'll go with that. So we're here today, driving around the mean streets of Greece, New York.
So mean. Crazy mean.
I think I need to take this out. That's the problem. And then if we aim it back that way, there we go. Okay, so yeah, the mean streets of Greece, New York. And we don't really have a destination in place. I mean, last time we were on here was myself and Sam Rodriguez, and we were driving to the First Niagara Center. But today, we are just driving around Greece. Which, whatever, it works.
It works. We're probably not going to stay in Greece.
No, we don't really have much to speak about today, which is why we're going to do a normal BLTD. We're going to do, I think it was BLTD 85.
Yeah.
84, 85. I always lose track.
I believe 84.
84, thank you. But for those of you who pay attention to sports on a daily basis, like Luis and myself, it's not very busy in the sporting world.
This week was definitely a slow week.
Yeah, it's
compared to some of the others.
It's not been fun, but you know,
it happens.
We take what we can get. I mean, it's April 2nd. Baseball is a day away. Opening day is tomorrow.
Day
Opening
away.
Day for most other teams is Monday. I mentioned that while it's snowing. That sucks. But you know,
upstate New York though.
It's Western New York weather. It'll do what it wants when it wants to.
Exactly.
I was out earlier today getting my hair cut, as you can see.
Looks nice, man. Looks nice.
Thank you. Dapper's not dead. Chris Pogue.
What's up, Chris?
How's it going, buddy? He hooked me up with a nice cut, and I got to enjoy the 30 minutes of uninterrupted sunshine today, which is pretty cool.
It's almost time for me to start going back to the barber, during the winter.
Yeah. So
I could wear hats like this. I went back to shaving my head.
Spoiler alert! Holy shit! Yeah.
People.
I was gonna say, last time I saw you had hair.
Right. People were like, Perez, but that's backwards. Like, you're supposed to grow your hair during the winter. And you know what? That's true. But when you're working or when you're just out and about, you can't put on a beanie like this and not expect it to mess up your hair.
Exactly. And
so,
you don't want that.
Off with the hair.
Yeah, you don't want that. Although, I mean, I'm the same way, where I've been growing my hair since the end of last summer, and I'll probably cut it next winter.
Okay.
Like, actually cut the top off.
Just gonna let it grow?
Yeah.
No, okay. No problem.
I mean, you can see I'm kind of at that weird phase now where everything's kind of curly. And
right.
I dig it. I mean, it's fun, but...
Yeah, when I sat down in the barber's chair a couple months ago, told the guy to shave my hair off, he was like, what?
Why would I do that?
Why not? Yeah, right. My hair is stupid curly, and it was starting to get to that phase. But I was like, shave it off, bruh. Shave it off.
So now, those of you who are aware of Rochester area roads, we're jumping on 390 South right now, so make it a little bumpy. If it does, whatever.
No, 390 shouldn't be too bad. It'll be a lot better than some of the surface streets right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what else is a day away?
What's that?
Not just baseball.
Oh, WrestleMania.
I wasn't thinking about that, but yes,
what?
WrestleMania is
What
also
a
day away. My 12-year anniversary with my lovely wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. 12 years, don't know how she put up with me.
Half of my life. We've talked about that before, though. Hey, speaking of WrestleMania, one of our good friends, you've not met him yet, but Mike Straw,
okay,
at Mike Straw Writes on Twitter, he's in Dallas for WrestleMania.
Is he?
And he was at NXT TakeOver last night, and a photo of him at NXT TakeOver popped up on social media with him in a Better Live Than Dead t-shirt.
That's awesome.
So Better Live Than Dead was at NXT TakeOver last night.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. That kind of marked out this morning.
No doubt.
I was standing in line and I was going through Facebook waiting for the Forever 21 line. The line at Forever 21 literally was forever.
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know Forever 21 sold that clothes.
They do. Huh? Except we'll talk about that in a second. But
okay.
Yeah, I was in line for forever, and I saw the photo and freaked out. Just lost my mind.
Doubt.
In line, people were staring at me. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. But yeah, Forever 21 sells men's clothes, but it's kind of trendy men's clothes.
Okay.
Like I was able to get a short sleeve blue dress shirt and like a navy blue and red dress shirt, long sleeve, and then like a really cool tank top for like $45.
That's not bad.
But when I mentioned trendy, like I didn't know jean jackets were back in trend.
I didn't know that either.
So they have like cut off like a vest.
Like a jean jacket vest.
But it's like a dress shirt jean jacket with no sleeves. And then one of the mannequins was dressed up in a Canadian tuxedo with leather shoes. Like light brown leather shoes.
Well, what makes a tuxedo Canadian?
Well, the Canadian tuxedo is all jean jacket, jean pants. That's
okay.
Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. I knew that.
Yeah.
I know Canadians that dress like that.
That's why we call it the Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
you silly Canadians.
It kind of is what it is, you know. People, they know.
Right.
Like whenever I'm at work, I always just tell my boss it's a white person thing, and she totally gets it.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Because she usually knows I'm right. I'm like, it's a white person thing. You won't understand. She goes, you're right, I don't.
What color is she?
She is African American.
Okay. Yeah.
So I gotta crack jokes about myself to kind of keep it loose.
I understand.
Plus, you know, that's what white people do. They just keep everything weird and loose.
Right.
But
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave that alone.
Just leave that one alone. Leave it alone. But the one thing I did want to talk about this week is UFC. Well, in this Carcast is UFC. Because I am mad. I'm mad.
Mad?
I'm mad online. That's how mad I am, okay? Because, look at. I get my hopes up about every UFC main event there is possible.
Okay.
And I was getting hype about Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier.
Right.
There were rumors on the interwebs, on the social media, on the tweet bots that Daniel Cormier potentially hurt his knee. Now, it was a guy who had broken a news story before, but he's just a fan.
Right.
So we got word last night that Cormier has pulled out of the fight with Jon Jones. Now, I was going to mention Jon Jones because he just got arrested, or he turned himself in, had a warrant out for his arrest for probation violation, got pulled over, got tickets, verbally undressed the police officer. Now, I'm assuming it's because Jon Jones felt profiled, and I'm sure, it's understandable because he has a bad reputation in Albuquerque at this point when it comes to police officers and not being a good citizen. He revved his engine, apparently took off, was supposedly drag racing, so he got pulled over, got a myriad of different tickets. So I was going to mention Jon Jones and how he's having trouble keeping his nose clean. But then again, he just got pulled over, and getting pulled over is a probation violation. So,
awesome.
It kind of is what it is there. They changed his probation, but what I'm getting at here, I'm getting kind of sick of UFC. In the sense, like, I love watching the pay-per-view, I love watching the fights, and there's a twofold thing.
Okay.
First off, I'm angry because you can't predict injuries. Injuries happen. But that's why I'm getting mad, because the human body is just garbage. So I guess I really can't blame the UFC. Can't blame the UFC for that.
No, you can't blame the UFC for that.
But it just gets me pissed off that guys. It seems like maybe the UFC needs to do something, because it seems like more often than not these days, guys are getting hurt and women are getting hurt at a higher rate between fights. Like, a lot more fights have been called off because guys can't. Guys are not able to stay healthy through training, or they have a pre-existing injury they're trying to fight through. Or it was like when CM Punk was getting ready for his fight, and he had a back problem. He knew it, tried to fight through it, and couldn't.
Right.
And then he tweets out a photo. He had something in his back that was gross.
Awesome.
But that's what he's trying to fight through.
Right.
So maybe there's something they can do where they can say, hey, we got to figure this stuff out, and maybe a little bit better regulations, or I don't know, something, because it's very frustrating to see the sport have this gigantic fight set up, and then it's not going to happen because Cormier gets hurt.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something about that.
Well, I feel like, unfortunately, like you said, it's one of those things. Accidents happen. Yeah. You can't predict what's going to happen. You see the same thing in other sports. Look at, and I don't want to compare the two at all, but if you look at like the WWE, a lot of people recently have been getting injured both in the ring and outside of the ring, like working out and training. You know, I think these people push themselves so much that the body will start to break down on you, and you know, it happens. Like I'm going to use myself as an example. Not that I'm a physical specimen, because I'm, you know, I'm fat, as you can see in the video, but the camera adds 10 pounds too, by the way. 20 pounds. Camera adds 20 pounds.
It just adds it to my head. It just makes my head look a lot bigger than it actually is.
But, you know, the couple times where I've gotten hurt working out, you know, I was just pushing myself too hard. I had all the muscles on the right side of my rib cage pop off once. I had been losing a ton of weight. I was feeling great, and I just pushed myself a little too hard, and I was doing a almost like a sit-up machine with weights, and on one of these type of movements, I heard and felt the pop. The pops were so loud, the person next to me threw up. You know, they got up from the next machine and went and threw up in the trash can. And, you know, when they were done losing their lunch, they came back and asked me if I was okay. And honestly, at the time, I felt, you know, decent. But then I started to move around, and I knew immediately something was wrong. I just think that's what happens. People, you know, they want to make sure their fans are satisfied. They don't want to disappoint the UFC. And so you work out and you push yourself hard, and, you know, you have accidents.
That's what I think. It's probably is that. They're just trying so hard to be in best shape as possible, be as ready as possible, and it doesn't take much. It takes just, you know, a freak accident to tear a knee or pop something, and you're done.
Right.
And you're out for months. I mean,
it's not fun, but what can you do?
The one thing, though, that UFC can change and they can handle is and again, I'm going to preface this so I understand. You're trying to make every event as big as possible, this event being UFC 200. But we just came off of McGregor, McGregor Diaz. Yeah, Nate Diaz. And
I heard McGregor wants to fight him again.
They're going to fight again.
Good.
And it's immediate. I don't know if... And I guess I'm not too mad about that. What I'm mad about is on the same card as Conor McGregor, they're having an interim title fight for Conor McGregor's belt. So essentially they're setting up, like, no matter what happens with McGregor-Diaz, if McGregor loses again, Diaz is better. If McGregor wins, then we have McGregor-Diaz 3 sometime in the future, which is cool. That UFC loves their trilogies, no doubt about it. But Frankie Edgar and Jose Aldo are fighting for the interim championship. Winner fighting Conor McGregor. So this is how I think about it. Coming from a mindset of like WWE, as you mentioned, or just matchmaking at that. You have McGregor, who's already beat Aldo, so Aldo has a rematch with McGregor no matter what.
Right.
But if Edgar beats Aldo for the interim title, you've got McGregor, Edgar, and then what, is Aldo the first guy in line to face the winner of that to get his rematch?
Maybe.
Or does this count it as a rematch because he's fighting for the title?
I don't know.
That's what frustrates me about UFCs. Again, UFC 200, you want to make it as big as possible. And right now, I mean, there's also rumors too that, or not even rumors, thoughts that because Cormier's out now, if John Jones fights in April, they could co-headline UFC 200, Cormier Jones. Okay, so the takes got too hot, the phone shut off. It's okay. Takes got too hot. But what I was going to say is maybe Rumble in Jones at UFC, whatever it is coming up, maybe that happens for the interim belt, and then the winner faces Cormier in an interim in a unification match at 200. But like at this point, it's something where, you know, what are you going to do? Exactly, and that's really
can't do anything about it.
That's really what I wanted to talk about. It just irritates. Like, I guess pushing rematches so soon irritates the shit out of me.
Okay.
And that's why, like, I want to see McGregor go back, dominate his class, let Nate Diaz go win the belt, and then have him and McGregor fight for the belt.
try this again.
Take 12.
Take 256.
Yeah, exactly. The takes got super hot because the phone got super hot, so I had to take my phone apart. Because we're on a limited budget here, we're using my cell phone to record. But it's a fancy ass phone, so why not? But what we were saying essentially in a nutshell is I wish the UFC would get back to the way it was, where the ranking system meant something.
Right.
Where, I mean, yeah, it's great to see Conor McGregor want to fight Nate Diaz again, but, and I like, we got some background music too. It's nice.
Oh, I can mute that if you want.
It's like the old days,
right? I can mute that if you want.
Bang bang. It's like the old days. All that really wasn't the truth. That was the truth.
Right, it's the truth. Not the truth at all.
I just wanted to say that. But well, I mean,
this lady was looking at us like, what are these two dudes doing, just sitting here?
We're gonna kill you. We're gonna, I don't know, bury you in your front lawn.
No, you always
White people get so scared. Even like,
right.
if I mean, Lewis obviously is a Puerto Rican male, but I'm a white guy, and she saw me and still looked pretty scared. So it's really funny how white people act.
When they're like they don't. There's people on the street we've never seen before.
Yeah, we're not going to kill you. Like, I don't want to go to prison.
That person just backed up onto the grass.
What an idiot. This is great.
This is hilarious.
People are the dumbest things ever.
He's still kind of really close to that curb.
He's gonna get. He's always scraping. Always scuffing. Scuff that wheel on a curb, man. Yeah.
And he didn't even, like he pulled forward and still
this.
kept it there.
Like this. Oh, it's another white person. Another white person.
Hold on a second. I'm at the wrong house.
Oh.
This will be fun. I just locked the. Hey, do you not know how to back up?
Why are you creeping on my street?
Do you not know how to back up? I saw you just scrape the junk out of your curb. I'm waiting to say goodbye to my wife.
What?
I'm waiting to say goodbye to Melinda.
She won't be here for a while.
She told me she was leaving at 1:45.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys want to come in?
No, we're recording right now.
Oh, okay.
Podcast.
Yeah, we're podcasting. I was gonna say, now watch you scrape the shit out of your wheel, right?
Hell nah. I know how to drive. And backup camera.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if you had a backup camera or not.
Of course.
I don't know how to drive without my backup camera.
Easy.
That's for damn sure. That'd be great for the podcast, though. Just you yelling. It's cool. I don't care. This is what we do. This is the Carcast. It's a lot of fun, and try to make it look nice and have a good time. I got nothing else to talk about.
Hey man, it's all good, bro.
Just got the real life has been crazy. Work's been crazy.
Yeah, man. You know, it's
looking for work has been crazy. I'm sure.
Yeah, looking for work is stupid. I mean, I get, I have all these places call me sometimes, and they'll be like, this is the position, this is how much it offers, and then I go to, for instance, I had a job call me, and they were like, we pay $60,000 a year, right? And I was like, okay, cool, I can live with that. I get to the job interview, sit down, and the guy says, before we go any further, I need to make sure you know how much we pay. And I was like, I was told the base is $60,000. And he was like, no, the base is $20,000. Commission brings it up to $60,000. And I was like, but that's not what I was told on the phone.
Yeah.
Like someone literally told me.
You got me in the door with 60.
Right.
I mean, plus you're enough of an adult at this point in your life that I would hope that like I have to make. It's not like me where if I need to get a job, I can just walk in and go, whatever you'll pay me, cool. Like when I got the gig, my latest gig, I walked in and they were like, "Will we pay this?" And I'm like, "Fine." Like I'm not mad about it, but you have shit you got to pay for, and you need to make a certain amount of money a year.
Yeah, I don't. 60 would have been nice.
Does that make it more difficult for you to try to find a job when you have to make a certain amount?
Yeah, a little bit, because I've gotten some people who wanted to interview me, and then they tell me how much they pay, and while the pay is not, bad, like if you're offering $12-13 an hour, that's still decent, but when you come from a job where you were making, $19-20 an hour,
Yeah.
You
it's
can't
tough.
really drop $7 an hour.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
You know, so although I was talking to this recruiter the other day, and she's like, "What's the absolute minimum that you'll take?" And I said, "The absolute minimum that I'll take is $35,000." And I said, and quite frankly, that's low. I said, but I'm looking for a job. I can live with $35,000 until I get something better.
Yeah. No complaints. Money's money, but more of it would be nice.
Right. So,
And that's how I've been working lately.
and I'm coming from a job where I was making, when you factor in my guaranteed bonus and my mileage, which you're not technically supposed to factor into your pay because it goes towards car maintenance, but I was making like 54-ish.
That's not bad at all.
No, so I know I have to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
No matter what, I'm probably going to have to take a pay cut. But so the lady was like, "What's the least that you'll take?" And I said, 35, that's low. I said, quite frankly, I really don't want to go below 40. And she goes, "Well, how about 45? And I was like, "Well, that's above 40, so I'm good with that."
No, 45 is not going to work.
Right. I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. But we'll see. I just did a test for a job that I did pretty good on. I should hear from them next week if they want to do an in-person interview. And that one pays like $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be moving up a tax bracket on us.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Check out my t-shirt.
So, nice. That's funny.
Get it for the video camera. If you know me, you know I love bulldogs, man.
Right.
And then a Butler bulldog, Butler
Right.
Blue. Goddamn.
So, yeah, I mean...
Sorry, I'm just all over the place.
It's all good. So, yeah, man, the job hunt's been difficult. I talked to a guy the other day, Jordan Orster. He has the Misguided Musing podcast. He used to be on my team with the Microsoft program.
Really?
Yeah. When he told me he was interested in doing a podcast, I told him to reach out to John. And I told John about him, and then they connected. And so now we have the Misguided Musings on gear.
Making stuff happen. Yeah.
Well, he called me up the other day, and I guess he was talking to some of the higher ups at our job, my old job, and they were saying how mad they were that they let me go.
So maybe they want to hire you back.
Well, if they were going to, they would already,
Well, that's
but
shitty.
it's really, it's not recording.
It is.
It is it? Oh yeah, it says
Look
record
at
right
the
there.
bottom
I was looking for the green
Hold on,
button.
hold on, let me cover it up
Yeah, I
with my
see
hand.
it.
See it?
I see
Okay.
it.
This is what happens the first time you try to do a Carcast with someone. It's okay.
No, it's all good. I was looking at it turned green and then it wasn't green. So he was telling me that my numbers, now I haven't had a job, I haven't been out in the store since the second week of February. Okay. They gave me 2 weeks. They gave me to the end of February to get paid, but they told me to just concentrate on looking for a job. They didn't have me go visit my stores. So it's been roughly a month and a half since I've been in a retail location for my job, right?
Okay.
He was telling me that the numbers that they release every week still have my numbers on it. My numbers are higher than 3/4 of my team still, and I haven't visited anything in a month and a half
That's amazing.
because I don't work there anymore. So I don't.
The numbers don't lie. That's for sure.
Right, and I don't understand why they decided to let go of me. And I knew my job. I did my job really well. But it is what it is. So now it's just a matter of here's what the tough part is going to be. To be honest with you, the really, really tough part is going to be getting used to having a normal job. Like I had no oversight really with my past job. I was my own boss, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a boss that I reported to, but I never met her. I met her once last summer. I talked to them once a week in a group call, and if I needed something, I would reach out to her. But for the most part, my oversight was me.
Yeah.
I made my own hours. I made my own territory. I had the territory, but where I wanted to go for the day, I made that my decision. I had to plan 2 weeks out, but if I wanted to switch it around, as long as I kept the 2 weeks out, I could. So finding like a 9 to 5 where I have to be at an office it's going to be weird because my house was my office.
Yeah.
If I wanted to route the house at 10 o'clock in the morning, I could. As long as I hit, how many stores I needed to hit that day.
Exactly.
So there were times I would leave at 12 p.m., stay in town, and be done by like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
That's not bad at all.
No, So the hardest part will be adjusting to a quote unquote real job.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Rockstar quotes.
I got you. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this guy's front room.
And a lot of trophies.
Lots of them. I wish I could see if I can do this. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to work because I can't zoom in here, so give me a second. All right, so this is what we're talking about right now. Like, it's kind of fuzzy. Maybe I can turn autofocus on. Do you guys see that? This dude's got like a collection of trophies, like he's Jean-Claude Van Damme or something. I don't know.
Maybe that's his,
See that? Look at. Again, what is going on with that? We're back now.
Don't know what he's good at, but he's obviously good at something.
Maybe being a fucking weirdo. I don't know. Well, that's my trophy right there.
He goes and just makes up trophies for himself.
I mean, that's what I do all the time.
My dad used to have a ton of trophies, like racquetball and bowling trophies. I've had quite a few in my day, too. I don't keep them anymore, though.
I just keep the ones from fantasy football.
Understandable.
Which I got a plastic horse ass now. To my collection because I'm really bad at it.
It's all good. I think I finished last in the one with John's other league.
You tried to finish last in our league, but I finished last because I was getting very irritated with you. Because you were just kind of like, I'm going to play for 4 weeks, and then I'm not going to play for 6, and then I'm going to try to care when it doesn't matter. And I'm like, I'm taking a stand against this. So I started like the 4th string quarterback.
Nice.
I
gotta be honest with you, man. The more I got into the Yahoo fantasy football system, I'm not a fan of the way they do it.
Well, it's good to know because next year, I don't even know honestly if I'm going to play next year because I don't give a shit about football. I can pick a team,
right,
and then just not care about it,
right.
But like I'm not going to watch football. I'm going to find something else to do. Like it's not that hard. I'd rather find something else, especially now because I have Saturday, Sunday off.
No doubt.
Like I'll be lazy on Saturday or go crazy on Saturday,
right?
Whatever. But like I don't want to sit and watch TV all day on a Sunday because that's a waste. If I'm like reading a book or something, that's cool. But
well, yeah. Like if the cigar shop is open on a Sunday, I normally run it.
And that's fair.
So
like if watching that there is fair because you're there.
Right.
But like watching, I mean, I've done it enough where like when I went out to Buffalo for a while, I mean, I would sit there and I would spend time on the weekend and I would go out and watch the Bills game on Sunday, and I'm like, after a while, the question was posed to me like, what is the purpose of this? And I'm like, that's a fantastic idea. Like, that's a fantastic question. What is the purpose of this? And there's not much. I mean, because it's not like I'm watching the Patriots or, excuse me. I mean, I never would because I don't give a hot goddamn about them. But I'm not watching a team that's good, I guess is the best way to put it. So it's not even like when I sit around and watch hockey all the time. I love hockey. It is my true love these days. It has surpassed baseball for my true sports love is hockey.
Okay.
But sometimes I watch the Sabres and I'm kind of like, why do I spend so much time watching this team that's bad? I mean, I love hockey, so it's kind of like, I guess the best way to explain it is baseball. Because with baseball, I love baseball so much. And baseball's coming back in a couple days, thankfully. Something you will not be seeing me tweet about is baseball. I promised myself I will not tweet about baseball. Plus, I spoke with some friends and said, I need you guys to keep me honest because tweeting about baseball is going to kill me because people will kill me for tweeting about baseball. Anyways, that's a different topic for a different time. But with like the Red Sox, when the Red Sox have been bad lately, I don't watch. Completely honest. Like last year, I didn't watch probably half of September half of August and half of September, maybe. Like maybe a quarter of that I actually watched a game.
Okay.
So like when the Red Sox came to camp this year, and like one thing I did want to mention today, maybe get your thoughts on it. We can do that right now if you want to. It's perfect timing. Travis Shaw is the starting third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. Pablo Sandoval's on the bench. The Red Sox owe Pablo Sandoval over $70 million. But here's the thing. I didn't realize, like, I saw Travis Shaw and I'm like, oh, whatever. He's a guy who's having a great camp. You know, congratulations, good for him. He'll be fun to watch.
Right.
He hit 13 home runs last year. I totally forgot about that. You know why? Excuse me, my kickstart made a comeback there. Excuse me. You want to know why I didn't know? I didn't watch. Rusney Castillo. I don't know how good he did last year. I didn't watch. That's like, I'm getting better with that because a lot of my life I've spent surrounded by sports and sports centered. I guess for no pun intended, but I try to not have my moods. Like I used to be like a little bitch. Like if the Red Sox lost, I'd be a little bitch about it.
Right.
Now I'm like, whatever. Like the Sabres lose, whatever. I mean, I've gotten used to them losing, so it doesn't really matter. But like I said before, but with the Red Sox lose, I'm not mad about it. I mean, yeah, if it's a close game, I'll be like, oh, damn it, let's get them tomorrow because they play 9 million more times the next 12 weeks or something like that.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I've taken more of a laid back approach with sports.
You have to. I'm a big sports fan. I love.
We both are. We're sitting in a car
talking
in front of someone's house. The guy Jean-Claude Van Damme with the trophies, hanging out in front of his house. I mean, he broke a window out. Been doing some wrong. I don't know. But like we're talking about sports, so yeah, we obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I love sports. I watch all sports. I don't discriminate, unless it's curling. Not really going to watch curling.
Curling's pretty cool.
Although there are some times when, I saw a really cool curling shot the other day.
In the Olympics, it's intense as hell, man. Like it's dope.
But I watch golf. I watch bowling.
Masters are coming up next week.
Yeah, I watch Tiger Woods is going to play. He's not physically.
I saw something, but I didn't see if he was actually.
Yeah, he pulled out. He's not physically capable at this point.
He's not physically capable to golf anymore.
So, he's trying to keep to his rehab, and we'll see what happens. I think it's a smart decision. I love sports. I watch women's volleyball.
I like to watch. I'm obviously big into soccer now.
Right, I like soccer.
Which soccer has replaced football for me, which is nice, and it's.
So football replaced football.
Yeah, the real football replaced American football.
Right.
Because the cool thing is you can watch the MLS from March until October. And then October rolls around. Later this year, they start playing the Premier League starts up again. So you can watch soccer year round. It may not be like the MLS is compared to Premier League,
right?
The BPL.
Well,
it's the level of talent is absurd.
Yeah.
The talent difference is crazy. The level of soccer you're going to watch is completely different. Excuse me, but it's soccer nonetheless. Yeah. It's like watching. It's like going to a Red Sox game or a Yankee game. And then going to a Red Wings game. Like, there's going to be a talent drop-off, but at the end of the day, you're still watching the sport. You're still participating and watching the sport. And, like you said, I'll watch golf. I mean, I'm going to start watching basketball because the Hornets are going to be in the playoffs. As of this recording, their magic number is 1, which they kind of caught me by surprise because out of nowhere, I was like, I see him on Instagram. Like, I'm a fan. I'm not a huge fan, but when I wear basketball clothes, it's Hornets gear.
Okay.
And I saw that they're going to be in the playoffs, and I was like, I'll watch.
Right.
Because playoff basketball is dope because there is a means to an end.
Yeah.
Regular season basketball, like besides baseball, I feel like basketball's regular season may be one of the most pointless things ever.
I like it. I watch it.
It just seems to me like it's the same thing every night. And again, it's sports, so yes, every sport every time is the same damn thing. But for hockey, there feels like there's always kind of a storyline or something going to it. With basketball, it seems like either we're in for LeBron James screaming at Kyrie Irving again, or we're in James Harden missing Dwight Howard for an alley-oop and Dwight Howard getting pissy about it or something or whatever it may be. I mean, the only thing I enjoy about basketball is Steph Curry and the Warriors. Like, they are so much fun. And I hope they break. I hope they break the record for most victories in the season. I know they just got beat by the Celtics on Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's.
See, I gotta be honest with you. I don't hope they break it. First of all, but.
Well, because you were around. We've talked about this ad nauseum. You were around when the record was set. So that is your. When you think basketball, you think that era.
Yeah.
But I like it because I'm selfish.
Right.
And I like seeing history made.
Well, here's why I don't want them to break the record. It's because I've been watching the Golden State Warriors the past couple of games. And they've been on such a tear that if you watch some of the starters, they all, when it gets to the fourth quarter, they all look tired.
It feels like they have. It would almost be better for them to not set the record and just let Steph Curry not play a couple games.
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, because they're so burnt out. Like there were games where they were winning by 40.
Right.
Now they're barely winning.
Right.
They're barely scraping by. So yeah, I see that absolutely.
So I feel like they should probably just let these guys rest for the next couple of games, and if you break the record, awesome. If you don't, whatever. You've still had a phenomenal season. Both them and the Spurs have broken records this year.
The Spurs are on pace to go undefeated at home.
Yeah, and that's unheard of in the NBA.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so sit these guys and let them rest. And don't worry about the record. Worry about making sure that your players are rested enough to make a long run into the playoffs and possibly win a second championship. Because if you look at the teams that right now they'll be going against, to me, their biggest threat are the San Antonio Spurs.
That's every season almost. Everybody's biggest fear is the Spurs. The biggest threat is the Spurs.
And since they're in the same division, they're going to have to pay each other at one point.
I think it's going to be, it's got to be Spurs or the Warriors. Whoever comes out is going to win the title.
Yeah, I don't think the East could put up anybody that will beat them. Even if LeBron makes his sixth championship in a row, I don't think they're going to beat these guys. I just don't think it's possible. Either the Golden State Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs.
Everybody's running away.
Bye. So I think, instead of, I almost feel like they want to get that record, and so they're pushing themselves. And I think they just need to lay off and just.
I mean, maybe they'll turn it. Maybe they'll turn it next level when they go to the playoffs. We don't know because their matchups aren't going to be very difficult.
No,
until they face the Spurs.
Right. They should roll through.
Which, if we don't get the Spurs and Warriors in the final, I mean, it's going to suck.
In the West Final,
yeah, the West Final, because that's the true NBA. That'll be the NBA final right there.
That should be an awesome
Spurs
freaking series.
Absolutely.
The Golden State Warriors' last game of the years against the Spurs.
Well, it might even be a thing too where we see, it could be the last time we see Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
Right.
Because they're
all old.
Well, they're getting to the point now where they want to come back for one more, and basketball is thankful that they have, because you thought they were done when they won the title, and they're like, no, we're good. We're going to come back for a little more.
Right.
We want a little more.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the greatest. The Spurs are one of the greatest things we've seen.
And I can't stand them.
Sports.
I can't stand them. I can't stand the Spurs. I don't know why. They're a phenomenal team.
You just don't like them.
They have phenomenal talent. But you know what I think it is?
What's that?
As good as they are, they're boring. They're boring. There's no flash. There's no, monster alley-oops like the Clippers,
That's the thing, is they don't have to do that.
They don't. And I think that to me, because of that, they're boring.
That's fair. I mean, it's what are sports without some pizzazz, without some bat flips, without some celebrations, without they just come to work, do their job, and win championships.
And they do their job phenomenally.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're an awesome team. I can't deny them that.
That's like a get off my lawn kind of statement,
Right. But at the same time, I'm like, I just want to see a little something. Show me something. Show me a little. Like Tim Duncan is so.
Yeah, give me some emotion.
Nothing with Tim Duncan,
Exactly.
But I credit David Robinson for that, because when Tim Duncan came into the league, David Robinson recognized that he was going to be a phenomenal talent and actually had Tim Duncan live with him for a while. And David Robinson was a very even-keeled, phenomenal center. And he taught Tim Duncan how to behave in the NBA.
That's good, yeah.
And so Tim Duncan really soaked in what David Robinson was teaching him, and they've been an incredible franchise ever since David Robinson. You always hear about the Spurs making noises in the play, not themselves.
They won't do anything aside. Yeah,
yeah, you know, I mean, to me, they're just kind of boring.
I mean, they made good decisions. They picked up, LaMarcus Aldridge, stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Now, one thing I want to ask you before we wrap up here, gun to your head,
Okay.
who wins the World Series this year?
I'm gonna say the Kansas City Royals.
Okay. I think I want to say the Royals
You got to snap.
because it's very easy to, but I mean, obviously, tongue-in-cheek, the Giants because it's 2016.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. They've improved enough to make some noise, but I don't know if they'll be able to do it. And then, I mean, a biased part of me wants to say the Red Sox.
Understandable.
Because I'm biased, but because they've been so bad lately,
Right.
and they made some big moves,
They did.
and for some reason, John Farrell, like, I feel like we've got the old John Farrell back, where in 2013, he wasn't letting money determine who played. He was letting, okay, you're good against righties, you're playing.
Right.
You make, the guy we're benching makes $20 million a year. Who cares?
Right.
Does he hit righties well? No. Okay, he's sitting.
Right.
Like, they're going to start Brock Holt in left field over Rusney Castillo because Brock Holt's been hitting. Because Brock Holt hits better against lefties or right, or whatever it may be. So, a biased part of me wants to say Boston will make some noise. I think they'll make noise. I don't think they're going to win the World Series. There's still some pieces away. But
I
mean,
agree with that.
It's got to be Kansas City. I mean, maybe St. Louis. But I think in the American League, no matter what, I think Kansas City is going to, unless something crazy happens, I think Kansas City is at least going to represent the American League.
Yeah.
But until like we said in football months ago, until someone beats Kansas City, I'm going with Kansas City.
Yeah, I got to go with Kansas City, too. I think that just makes the most sense. My wife isn't here yet. We're about to have two people walk up to the car. Put them on the podcast.
I can pause this. All right, the company has left us. But yeah, I think Kansas City. I would have to say gun to head Kansas City. Every year's different. Expect crazy things. It's baseball. That guy's going really fast.
For a residential street,
Yeah. But this has been experimental BLTD Videocast number 2.
This was fun. Enjoy this.
That'll be a nice little screen cap right there.
That's right.
Looking like a bunch of little hipster bitches with our peace signs up in the air. I am at Wolfe BLTD on Twitter. He is at MRLG Perez on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. To the Barack Obama. Follow us on Twitter at BLTD Sports. Facebook.com/BLTD Podcast. Check out BLTDsports.com. More stuff coming up soon. I just wrote a 2,000-word article about scoring in hockey, so
Nice.
that'll be going up as soon as the season's over. That will be going up. It's got statistics in it, so I have to wait till the season's over. At least regular season's over. So,
and it's almost up, right?
yeah, next week.
Next week.
Next Saturday, a week from today, is the Buffalo Sabres' last game until October.
We're coming to that point of the year where you have basketball ending, you have hockey ending.
You've got baseball. Just when baseball starts up, the NHL playoffs start up. Which
Right.
I mean, biased, but I think the NHL playoffs are the best playoff series you can get in any sport because you take the intensity of hockey, you turn it up tenfold,
Right.
and it's crazy. They want to kill each other every night.
Right.
Plus, again, you get the intensity of hockey, and you get at least 7 games of it.
Right.
Or potentially at least 4, potentially 7 games. So it's fun. I like it. So you got the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA playoffs, baseball's rolling around. You've got the Premier League wrapping up.
Yeah.
Leicester City maybe could be winning the championship there. That would be fantastic.
it's just the same. You know, they got these sports ending, but then you got a couple major ones starting. So it makes it a nice little transition.
It's nice. It's not. It makes that February of no sports
Right.
feel pretty good. So we'll talk to you again sometime soon, probably next week. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what sports decide to do. But again, we are better live than dead.
You're not.
We will talk to you next week, and we will have a BLTD podcast. But for now, extra cast. Enjoy it. I keep doing this because it looks fun. Bye.
Later.